sliding down a side street like a hazmat loaded truck. The world is full of heroes, but I don't give a damn. The deities once lived there, but they're not there anymore. The Dodgers moved to L.A., the Mets still play in Queens. I don't know where God is, but the devil's in New Orleans.
You smash into the wall, and the bricks just go flying. Right? Immediately, the guy with the girl right there turns towards you. You notice that Lashiel is nowhere to be seen. Okay? The cultists turn towards you and begin readying their weapons. Okay? We probably should go into combat then.
Okay.
Alertness. Okay. All right, let me see. Swift's alertness is 4.
So what's his? What's your?
It doesn't.
And it's just like,
He's probably
trying to go first.
He ties with Bozo McBozo. No, okay, he's faster.
Bozo.
All right, Bozo McBozo face. All right, the guy in the center right here with the girl in front of him. He also has supernatural speed, which means he goes first. Except Swift goes first. And then it breaks down to who has the highest alertness. Fortunately, Swift has a +4. Now, Swift is back there with you, okay? Probably what he's going to do is step in front of you guys and throw up a block. Because that's kind of what he does. All right. He throws up... Actually, he's going to do a magic block because he's better at those.
Is that Swift you're talking about?
Mm-hmm. Swift, yeah. He's going to do his rogue spell. Which, okay, is a strength 8 block. Okay, he's going to take 1 mental stress from that, because it's a rope. So, this is stress 1 box. Alright, so what you see happen is the vines and stuff that are around you begin to weave themselves into kind of a shield in front of you. And the interesting thing about it is the grass kind of grows up and the vines kind of stick out from the wall. And as you begin moving forward, the stuff starts moving forward with you, okay? And then you can see it because he's veiling it. But it's almost like a moving vegetable wall. Or vegetative wall? Yeah, there we go. Vegetative wall. Not a vegetable wall. That'd be weird. Broccoli!
A wall full of just people who
can't move.
are in a coma.
Those are shields. Human shields. We don't do that. So the bad people do
Those
that.
are meat.
Oh, yeah.
Meat shields?
Yeah. What you see also is at the same time, just almost faster than you can see, is the guy in the middle turns towards you and says, "Not this time!" And he's got a dagger, and he plunges it into this girl's heart, okay? And then shoves her to the ground. You do not recognize her at all. She is obviously White Court Vampire, because you recognize her as that, but you don't know who she is. And when he does and shoves her to the ground, the pulsing gets louder. And you notice that as he cuts her throat, of course, the blood's spurting out in time with her heartbeat. The pulsing is in time with the blood spurting. So this was, I guess, his final, way to finish the spell. Yeah.
Evil.
Yep. Pretty nasty. And that brings us to anybody. Let's see. The Malks are next. Yeah. They go in like 8. Sorry. They're really quick. So off the wall, you see these 9 cats come boiling off the wall towards the cultists. One of the cultists brings his gun up towards you guys, and you notice that out of the shadows, a Malk just kind of moves through, and all of a sudden the cultist goes, "Ah!" And he's lost a hand. It turns out to be his trigger finger. And so he kind of drops the gun because you can't pull a trigger if you've only got one hand, and starts to go for a knife at his belt. At which point another Malk comes in behind him, and the guy falls over because it looks like he's had his Achilles tendons cut because it's right through there. And so he falls to the ground. Ah! Then one of the other Malks comes up and runs up and teabags him. But doesn't do any damage. So there you go.
But the amount of mental damage that was done.
Right.
That's a mental stress hit for sure.
Yeah.
Or social stress hit. Yeah.
Right. The thing about it is you notice that they don't actually kill this guy. They just kind of incapacitate him.
He's
And
starting
then a
mentally
fourth
fried.
Malk, after the teabagging is done, begins to drag this guy towards the headstones and out of sight. So that's 4 Malks to take down one guy, and you're kind of going, wouldn't it have been better if they each took a guy?
Nope.
But cats. So, second cultist, draws a bead on the Malk and starts to shoot, and one of the other Malks comes up and shoves his hand, and the gun goes like that, and the other Malk comes up and scratches his chest open, and the guy shrieks in pain, and then another one puts his hand around his eyes so he can't see, and so he's kind of shooting blindly, and then the other Malk just kind of reaches up and just removes his shoulder that's pulling the trigger, and of course the shooting stops. And then the fifth one grabs him and starts dragging him over to the corner right there to, I guess, toy with him. And so you're like, okay, 9 cats, 2 guys down. There's only 12 more. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah. So that was an 8. 6.
Now we know to say something more like,
right.
you need to take 2 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Be efficient.
Be
Right?
efficient.
Yeah. 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay. 3. You're 3. Go ahead.
I guess my turn to occultist and attack him.
Okay. Go ahead. What are you gonna do?
I'll just punch it with my fist or my
That'll do
claws.
it. That'll do it. I'm Batman.
Eesh.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
So I got a 7.
Okay. You beat him by 3. Your normal attacks do what? There's weapon
It's a weapon 2, but
for claws, and then your
my claws are a weapon 2, but I get +4 damage
okay. So
when
you
successfully.
so that's 6. You beat him by 3. That's 9 points. Okay. So you walk up and just punch him, and you punch him in the chest. There's a crunching noise as his rib cage collapses, and he drops to the ground. So yeah, you got one guy out. Actually, that's the third one that went down. Yeah, he's definitely cream bird brains. Also in 3, the Alexandra and her crew come boiling in through the hole. They've got small little they've got small little European look like hand automatic guns, weapons with little silencers on the end. So you're and they start opening fire on these guys. Okay, so we're gonna get some athletics checks for this. Yeah, okay, so that's +1. All right, now athletics is blah. Let's get Alexandra, and then shoot. Yeah, even. Okay, that's not bad. So they beat them. Bullets start flying and also spanging off of the invisible barrier. Several of the cultists begin to take cover behind some of the little funerary urns and stuff like that. Several of them take bullets and minor damage, but none of them seem to go down. Okay. However, they have had to move over into this area to get behind any kind of cover, so it does leave this area kind of exposed. And Anastasia's people begin moving this way to keep them pinned down.
I like it.
Yeah. That was in 3s, 2s.
Ooh,
Yes.
twos.
Is Jean-Marie going to be able to act with me, like in tandem, or am I going to have to wait on
No,
her?
she'll go in 2 also.
Okay, so basically I'm waiting on her to do what she's got to do to get me into this cultist guy.
Oh, so actually she moves in 3, sorry. What she does is she stands in front of the wall and puts her hands like that. So you can go over the wall. Right here, so you can kind of come over behind you.
Yeah, the main cultist guy, we're waiting on
Okay.
him to take down the
We're
barrier.
gonna take the barrier.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, well, I'll use the lift.
She's remarkably strong.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
You also notice when she does that, she's got these funny little curly
coming
cue
in.
tattoos and stuff like that, and they flare kind of a darker red color. And so she whoosh, throws you up like that. Let's make a mic check for her. Okay. She doesn't get you over the wall, but you are able to land on top of the wall very
Okay.
nicely. Okay. So you're sitting on top of the wall, kind of behind this guy. You want to give me a stealth check to see if he notices you? You got any stealth? I don't think you do.
-1.
Ooh, okay. So when you land on the wall, you maybe scrabble on there.
Scratching scuffle.
Yeah, let me see. Okay. He does notice you, though. He spins towards you and says, "Oh, the Knight of the Cross with her little spear. This ought to be interesting. You'll never stop me, though. I will bring New Orleans to its knees." Yeah, evil bad guy soliloquy.
Yeah.
Have anything?
Strike the barrier with your spear.
Jean-Marie also leaps up onto the wall behind you. Or beside you. So you're on the wall, she's right beside you. Yeah.
Okay.
She's got a little pistol. Well, okay, it's actually a really big pistol.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Spartan jump down with the spear.
Now remember the barrier's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta wait for the barrier to go down.
Okay, I'll hold.
Okay. This is in twos, so barrier people.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Who's gonna take lead on the counter spell?
I will.
Okay. You guys move in, bring Swift in there with you too. Quietly. Carla can help as well. She's got a reasonably good ability at that. All right. The strength of the barrier to counterspell it is a 10. Okay.
That's nothing.
So, what's your conviction?
My conviction is 4.
Okay. So you are 6 below what you need to do. Now, that being said, Carla could assist you with that. She can give you a +1, so you're only 5 below. Bunk could help you, and you would be at 6, and so you'd only be 4 below. Okay. Then you have to. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can I retcon something on my turn, or
Sure,
is
absolutely.
it too late?
Absolutely, that's fine.
Was that my action, or do I still have?
You have an action. That's really kind of a movement
Okay.
thing as well.
Can I use my ability, guide my hand to make a prayer to give everybody a +1?
Sure, absolutely. I'll let you retcon that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could have probably done that before you got into combat.
Yeah,
You
we could
probably
have
would
done that
yeah.
at the church.
Yeah,
you know.
well, you might have waited right outside the walls for sure.
Right.
All right, so that brings us. So Jody, you're gonna if they help you, that'll be a 7. So you'll only be down by 3. Then you have to make a discipline check and get a 10. So yeah, what's your discipline?
5.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
this is,
It's go time. Oh, that's not bad.
+1.
6. Okay. So you were down
Was
by.
that discipline?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So that you missed it by 4. Okay. You've also got 3 stress. So we got 7 stress that you're going to have to soak among 3 people. Okay. To bring the barrier down.
And you each
All right.
have a +1 from me that you could add to something, right?
Well, yeah, I got that on when she did her conviction thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So 7 stress. Well, hold on. Carla could take a 2 stress hit. You could take a 2 stress hit, and you take a 3 stress hit, and you're good.
Yeah.
So okay. I got Carla. It's fine.
And then Swift didn't take anything because he already took some stress from the other.
Well, he really doesn't do evocation. The only thing he really does is make plants move.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he can't really do that. So you took a 3 stress hit. You put your 3 stress box, your box number 3, Jody, and marked it out. And you
what I
marked
did.
out your number 2. Okay, cool.
It's mental, right?
Yes, mental. Okay.
Okay.
So the barrier, you actually you kind of wave your hand around at it. The barrier flickers blue for a second, and then all of a sudden you kind of see it. It looks like it develops cracks, and then kind of drops into the ground. Now the guy in the pentagram looks around and goes, "What? No one should be able to take down my barrier." Okay. So that's where we are on that. That was in 2s, 1s.
One.
Yes. All right, you're at the front gate with Anne-Marie. You come in through the front gate. There looks like there's probably several hundred spirits in front of you. Yeah.
Now, for clarity, what exactly is considered a zone?
That would be like the front gate area. Okay? Or like the road or things like that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, then.
So you could clear the road with one spell, potentially.
So that being said here, the front gate area, you said there's quite a few of them here?
Well, there's about maybe 10 of them in the front gate area, but there's lots of little roads going between the headstones and the crypts where there's other spirits. And so you see probably like 10 in the front gate area. There's about, probably another 5, 6 to the right of you, 5, 6 to the left of you, and then in front of you there's about 20 because that's the main road. When you step inside, the ghouls begin opening up on the ones to your left and right, to your flanks, and they've got these nice little European-looking machine guns with and they don't have silencers on them, so it's just and so they're just kind of trying to take them out. They seem to be looking like they're able to take out the spirits before they can get to you. The only ones you're going to really have to worry about are the ones in front and in the main area right by you.
Then I'll go ahead and do spare arrest again on the ones in front of me.
Yep. Give me a discipline check, please.
Nice.
Wow, you are killing it.
Literally, and that's 8.
Okay. So the ones in front of you, you begin to do the spirit rest. Again, you see the green hands come up out of the ground. There's even more of them this time. And they start grabbing these spirits and pulling them down. You also, strangely enough, see what looks like kind of a weird hooded figure pop up in the middle. And it's got like a scythe. And it begins swinging around and cutting the heads off of the different spirits. And then once the spirits have been, either dismembered or pulled down on the ground, it turns and looks at you and sinks into the floor.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a little spooky.
It's coming for me.
Yeah. Maybe so. That was in ones. Back to the top. Okay. Swift goes first. He is going to, again, continue with the 8 block. And then Bozo in the middle goes next. What does he want to do? Who's closest to him? He's seen you, though. Let's see.
We're standing on the wall now.
I believe what he does. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do this. He turns towards you and he says, "You will never defeat me." You need to make a discipline check or intimidation check, whichever is better for you.
Oh.
Well, I have a plus 1 in intimidation.
Well, you can do discipline instead if you don't have.
I do not have discipline. I have
Intimidation it is.
conviction. Ooh, that's a 1.
Okay. He beat you by 6. Okay. Immediately you are assaulted by that same feeling that hit you in the courtyard of the Devaney Mansion. The feeling of despair, that it's worthlessness, you're never going to be able to beat this guy. You take a strength. Let's see it.
17.
Oh, God.
Actually, a strength 10. Stress 10 hit. Okay.
Okay.
Ouch.
Let me.
It's because he beat you by 6, though.
Right. I'm just.
Daddy targeted you and
I
me.
had
I don't know. You actually probably have intimidation, don't you?
Plus 1.
Oh, okay. About the same as her.
I am all combat and hardly any social, except for presence.
And this is going to be a mental strike. It's not physical.
Okay.
Or no, would it be so?
Or to be social.
Nah, it's not social. It's mental.
So strength 10
Yeah,
goes.
the search in this game, baby.
How does that work?
Well, you can take a severe consequence, and that'll get rid of 6 out of that 10, which you can probably be,
And then I would still go 4.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So severe,
right.
and then a 4.
Right, and for your severe consequence, it's probably questioning my commitments or something like that.
Right.
Right.
Resolve.
And that's what this guy does. He's throwing despair at you. Hardcore despair.
He is a white court.
Yep, he is throwing it at you.
Well, I can tell you right now, that spear won't break from just that.
No, it sure won't. The Spear of Destiny's not going to break. It doesn't
But
care.
little does he know that we trained with a despair amulet.
That's right. Well, that was the fear amulet.
Different.
Darn
Sorry,
it.
wrong amulet.
Yeah.
That brings us to the Malks.
Similar. I can do this.
Several of the it seems like there's a few less Malks. Maybe there's only like 4 or 5 of them. They again come in, harass another cultist, and drag him into the shadows. From the shadows, you hear terrible crunching and shrieks, and every once in a while, you see a pool of blood come spilling out, kind of in a very disturbing manner. Sometimes a hand comes flying out, or a foot, or an eyeball. It's just a little disconcerting. Yeah. So yeah, another cultist down. That brings us to, that was an 8. Sorry. 3s. I believe that is also Anastasia's group.
I'm here as well.
Right. Anastasia's group is also continuing to shoot to keep the cultists pinned down. Another couple cultists go down because they hit them. Anastasia's group has taken a couple hits, but they're White Court vampires. They don't care. Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you what. Yeah. All right. Anastasia turns towards one of them and says, "You will never defeat us." And 2 or 3 of the cultists go, "Oh!" The guys get this big because she's a fear vampire, and they jump up and run down the main thoroughfare right there. At which point, her people go, and they both fall.
He's picking.
Yeah, so she just kills him. Yeah. The other 6 are still hiding behind the headstones. Yeah.
Okay.
That was in 4s, 3s. Go ahead.
I am going to charge the cultist and pin him down.
Okay. Okay. Now they're over here, so you can charge.
No, I'm going to charge Bozo the cultist and pin him down.
Oh, got him. Okay, go for it.
Mm-hmm. That's enough out of you.
Yeah, that's right.
Bitch.
No one can take down my bear. Ah!
Fuck that. You gotta spend a point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You trying to grappling?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You got a +1 from, or does that apply to this kind of roll?
My
prayer of
I guess so. It's only once though, right?
It's a one-time use
that's
thing
So
per
yeah, he can use it
person.
on this. Sure, absolutely,
So I
absolutely,
may not use the thing then. Let me see.
absolutely.
Let me see.
When you grapple, do you use might or what?
Fists.
Fist, okay.
I think, right?
That sounds good to me. When you try and maintain the grapple, I think you use might. Yeah.
He might.
You might do
Actually, it might just be might. Because all I'm seeing is about defending and attacking and nothing about grappling. So I think it's just might then.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, what'd you get for your might roll?
One second.
Oh, are you doing it? Sorry.
Okay, that's for the distance. I was trying to figure out why I got a +2 for grappling, and it's because of bruising strength.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that's gonna be an 8 then.
Ooh, you got a 9.
Then
So-
I will spend a fate point and
Tagging
say, this district ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
I like it. So that gives you a 10, which means you grabbed him. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You got it, Miranda.
So you grab him. Okay, and this guy is insanely fast and strong. Not as strong as you.
I thought it was gonna be.
But when you went to grab him, he almost rolled out of the way and kept away from you because he's just really, really quick. He just kind of blurs, and you still grab his wrist and pull him in and kind of get him in an arm bar. But that was what you. But he is a good bit
I
stronger than
imagine
normal.
some, was it Chronicles of Riddick, where Riddick's fighting the phasey guy? And
Yep,
he,
yep,
like,
yep.
just-
Oh.
Yep, that's the one. Yep,
Anticipate.
this guy is bad. So that was 3s. 2s.
So does he take a strength or to stress it because you grabbed him,
I
or is
don't
that?
think you
This
can-
allows you to inflict a 3 stress
Okay.
hit on an opponent as a supplemental action during a grapple.
Okay.
I still have no clue how supplemental actions work.
Yeah, supplemental action is a second action that turn. You do it at -1. It would be a -1 to your to hit roll,
Okay.
but that would still mean you would succeed because you tied him. So it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
'cause a 9
So
and
you do a
9.
2 stress hit to it.
Okay. 3.
3. Okay.
3 physical stress.
All right.
Have to get one kind of damage.
All right.
Well, thanks. I didn't know that. This
All
whole
right.
time.
So that brings us to 2s. Doses.
All right. Well, he's got him pinned down.
Yes.
I'm gonna come down with the spear.
Give me a roll. You hop off the wall. Jean Marie is with you.
I almost thought you said come down with despair.
Actually, Jean Marie is going to be on
Spell
this
factor
side.
right now.
Yeah, right. Jean Marie's going to be on this side to make sure the cultists don't take a pot shot at you.
Okay. So here we are in the finale. Me asking about rules.
That's right.
Same.
I use my weapon
Uh-huh.
to hit, and
Right.
then the spear for the damage.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. You got it. All right.
Okay, so that is for weapons. A 6.
Okay. He gets a normal roll. He just doesn't get to use his. Okay, so he got a 0. So you beat him by 6. The damage of the weapon is
+3.
a 3. Okay. So he's going to take a minor consequence and a stress 6 hit, and then he's going to shrug off that minor consequence
Oh, the consequence. Well, that's.
because he's got supernatural recovery. So there you go. So you do a stress hit to him, but he's still up. He is a monster. Other 2s.
Literally a monster.
Yeah, he is.
So we have to kind of like move forward, but we took down the barrier. Do
Right.
we have to continue working at it to keep it
No,
down?
no.
Okay.
Now, there is a spell going off, a ritual spell, remember,
Right.
that might be a good thing to try and unravel. Yeah.
So would we unravel that or counter it? Like
Counter
we did
spell
the
it. That's right.
barrier?
Same way you did
Okay.
before. Yeah.
All right.
You got this.
You guys up for another
Let's do
counter
it.
spell?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's the level of this spell? Is it the same?
This one is a ritual spell, so to counter it, you're going to have to ritual counter it. It has a
okay.
strength of 24.
Oh, so
Okay.
we're doing shifts, right?
Yeah. Well, remember the first thing you got. What's your lore rating, Jody?
5.
And what's your lore?
Is a 2.
Okay. So you would do. You got. We can help. They can help you, Carla. So that'll get you up to a 7. Okay. Which means that you are now short. Was that 17 levels? Okay. To do this. So there are a couple ways I think you can do
Got
that.
time?
Yeah. You can spend extra time.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Just burn yourself out.
You can make declarations to create temporary aspects to tag for 2 complexity each. So what you might need to do is spend some time doing maneuvers to try and kind of weaken the spell first. So what you'll need to do is like say, well, I'm going to take some time and kick over all the candles, okay? And that won't stop the spell, but it'll weaken the strength of the spell. Or maybe go over to the girl and try and
Can we just like rub
Yeah.
some of the lines?
yeah, right. Rub some of the lines out, or
That's what I'm thinking.
try and catch the girl and see if you can stop her from bleeding in the circle. So you're going to need to spend some time doing that. Is what will happen. Every one of those maneuvers you do gives you a +2 on your next strength of your ritual spell. So you're going to need to do that a little bit. Okay. Now remember, Carla can help you. Okay,
Yeah.
so she can help too.
So-
So what's the first thing you want to try and do?
Well, first, where are the candles? Are they on the points of the star that's in the middle?
Yes.
And then I'm assuming, what did they use to draw the circle? Did they use chalk or wood shavings? Or...
Actually, they dug little trenches and then they filled them with what looks like some kind of dust.
Got a wind spell. And just
Okay, there you go. You can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to maneuver. Give me a strength 2 evocation. It's just, don't even roll. That's so
Yeah,
low. So it takes 1 stress.
Interest.
Okay,
So
and
would
that
the
gives you,
wind only remove that dust? It went.
well, it blows it
above
out.
the candle?
Actually, the dust, well, you could use it either on the candles or the dust. Which would you prefer?
Knock the can. Well, let's do the dust first.
Okay, the dust actually blows out. It looks like it's gold dust. Which, if you're going to... you got plenty of gold. What are you doing? It's gold. You're a dragon. Yeah. All right, so...
I smell gold.
Yeah, I smell gold. That's right. I smell gold. What are you going to do, Jody, to try and...
Well, if he does that with the dust, while he's doing that, I'll blow out the candles.
Okay, you using magic or are you just doing physically?
Magic.
Okay, 1 stress. Okay, and you give yourself another +2.
Because I have the whirlwind.
Uh-huh.
I figured I could use that.
Right. Carla is going to run up and grab the girl and drag her out of the circle. Now what this does is it smears blood off of everything, so it also breaks the circle, okay? So again, that's going to be a +6. You don't have to roll, just take a 1 stress hit,
Oh.
okay? The level of... There's just no...
Just blow out candles.
Yeah, with a wind spells, blow out candles cost nothing. Okay, so you guys have a +6 now. Remember, you were starting at 7, so you're up to 13. You only got to reach 24, but it's going to take a couple rounds. All right, so that brings us to +1s.
That's me.
That's you, sir.
What was Can Swift do anything? Is there anything
Swift
else
is
in-
protecting you. He is
Oh, that's
calling
right,
up
block.
stuff so that they
Gotcha.
can't attack you.
Yeah.
You guys have probably dropped your veils at this point, but Swift is standing there, throwing basically a shield so no bullets spang into you. That's what he's doing. Yeah. So what are you going to do, sir? You and Anne Marie.
So I assume that we move forward.
You can, yeah, onto the road that leads towards the back.
Yes.
Okay. Again, the ghouls are taking out these ones that are coming from the side. Every once in a while, you'll have one that flees towards you. They're all... A few of them are dressed in kind of, modern-ish clothes. You also see this really weird, what looks like, crypt. It's a kind of a circular piece of stone and a thing that looks like a pyramid, and it says Nicolas Cage. Strangely enough, you see this guy dressed in black coming towards you going, that's my cemetery, at which point one of the ghouls shoots at him and he drops to the ground. So, I don't know. Nick Cage may be dead. Or maybe it's just his career. Never mind. Okay. Anyway.
I object. Have you seen National Treasure?
Well,
Some would say it's a treasure.
He did that before. It was all before he bought the Mallory mansion. He was fine. Then he bought the mansion.
Just in that movie where he played himself.
Oh,
and that
my
was
God.
amazing.
No, you're right. You're right. That was
It
actually
was.
pretty
Yeah,
funny.
but I
Was it
know it's good.
something of unbearable talent? Yeah, I watched that. It was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crushing weight of a
Yeah,
mess.
that actually was very
that
cute.
was-
You're right. You're not wrong.
I mean,
It was very funny.
yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. So that brings us to, let's see. So are you going to
Yeah,
try and
we-
clear the road?
Uh,
The ones that are in front of you?
sorry, I'm trying to think. How far is it to get to where they are?
Probably around 60 feet.
All right. In terms of clearing roads, how many?
Probably one round.
One round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then yeah.
Another shot? Okay. Give me another
I'll
roll.
do this one more time so we can clear our way to them.
Ooh, you were rolling like the star knight.
I am.
Bro.
By the way, I want to point out, he's using my dice. My dice,
I know.
dice are such traitors. They
They
never
are.
roll that
Traitor
well
dice.
for
I know because literally as of like last session, I think I've been sitting here staring. I was like, why does she have my dice?
Well, when we moved them around from when we were using the room for board games.
Is
yeah.
it that the dice are traitors or the traitors inside?
Oh.
So mean.
Just believe in the heart of the dice.
I'm not a traitor.
But that's a 7 total.
Okay. Again, you are able
Shadow
to.
realm, Joey.
You are able to grab the hands, grab the specters again, but this time instead of pulling them down, what happens is at each end of the road, two of these wraith-like figures appear,
Yeah,
and they sprint towards each other with their scythes out, just kind of mowing these specters down. And when they meet in the middle, there's kind of like a poof and a kind of a black mushroom-shaped cloud with purple flames, and then they're gone. So yeah, you're not sure. It's kind of interesting that there's two of them this time.
Anyways.
Yes. And so you are able to clear the way so that you're going to be able to arrive at the end of this round right there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to beginning of the round, which is Swift. Swift looks at you and says, "I'm continuing to keep the bullets off of you." And then the next thing is the guy you are wrestling with. He is going to try and get out of the grapple. Oh, that's a terrible roll. He got a 6. Give me an athletics check. Oh, no, I'm sorry, a might check to hold on to him. Yeah, you're might checking him. This is not your action, by the way. You're just maintaining.
Ooh.
I'm rolling poo poo.
Your might?
5.
He slips out. Okay. All right. He's very slippery, right? And when he slips out, let's see.
But you still have his hand.
He just loses his hand.
He draws what looks like a antique cavalry saber and takes a swing at you with it. Okay. This is a weapons attack.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to defend with athletics. or anything else you want to do. Now remember, you've got armor too, so.
Okay. You said athletics? Fuck me. It's a 1.
You okay? Well, he only got a 4, so he beat you by 3.
Good.
Weapon 4, so it's a 7 stress hit. Your
Okay.
armor's going to take 3 of it, so you
Yes,
take a
so
4
3.
stress hit. Yeah, that's not too bad.
No.
Yep. Okay. That brings us to, let's see, the Malks, who again drag off another cultist into the underbrush to kill. And then Anastasia and her crew. Anastasia moves towards where you guys are. I believe this is Anastasia. And she reaches out and touches the guy. So she's got to make a touch attack. Okay, she's even. That's not bad. He's got to athletics away from her. Okay, I think she tied with him because he got a 5 and she got a 5. Okay, that's good. So she touches him and she's going to try and do an incite fear attack. Let's see, that's intimidation. Yeah, intimidation versus discipline. All right, so he rolls discipline. Ooh, he's got high discipline. They tied, so she does a 4 stress mental attack on him. But she actually has a good bit too. All right, so he doesn't go down, but she looks at him and goes, "You will never beat us!" And he kind of turns towards her, and you notice he gets a little bit nervous looking, but that's about all you get from him. All right, so that was in 4-3.
Okay, I'm gonna punch shit at him.
All right. That's
Maybe. We'll see how my roll
Well,
is.
we'll see.
I would have -3 last time.
Okay,
Not -3, but. Hey!
There we
I
go.
just had to talk shit to my dice. Alright, this is gonna be a good one.
All right. Okay.
12. Wait.
6. Okay.
Yeah, 12.
Okay. You beat him by 6.
Okay.
So
I get weapon 2, and I get +4 damage because it's strong.
12 damage. Wow. He's not going to shrug that off. He's going to take a severe consequence.
I like it.
Okay, so that's a -6. All right. And then, he's going to have to take more than that. He's going to have to take a extreme consequence.
I like that too.
Because he can't soak that. Okay, so that's a -8. And then he's got to take another 4. Okay, cool. All right, so you haul off and cold cock his head. He jacks his jaw around like that, and his kind of eyes kind of spin in his head a little bit, seems like.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
That's right. And then he goes, "Wow, you are a beefy boy," and kind of says, and he seems like he is severely. You notice that there is a huge maybe his jaw is broken because it is at a weird angle. So, and maybe there's a little bit of damage right there. He kind of like that. So yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. That brings us to 2s. Yes, 2s.
Is she in 3 or is she in 2? No,
She's in 2 with you.
Okay.
She's got a gun. Actually, she's
I
got.
thought she was in 3 when we first.
Oh, she was in 3. You're right.
I think she was just moving in
Yeah.
around.
So in 3, she pulls out this weird obsidian knife and takes a stab at him. Okay. What's a dagger? Okay. So that's a 5. He's going to defend with a 5. No, 6. So she misses. He nimbly dodges out of the way. So yeah. Okay. He's an icky guy. Yeah. Okay. So that gives us to 2s. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try to shish kebab him again.
Go for it.
Oh, that's not great. So not good.
What'd you get?
So a 4.
Okay. That's not gonna do it. He got a 7. So yeah. Unless you want to tag a couple aspects. Now remember, one of the things you can do is do maneuvers to kind of like, try and get him off balance, and then you can pass that maneuver to someone else to give them a bonus to their damage or their 2-hit roll or stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Just for future reference. Yeah, so you missed it. Okay, what?
Yeah, I don't
You gonna use
think
any fate points to try and do it? Spend a couple of them.
have anything appropriate to tag at the moment. Except I owe you one, which is my go-to bread and butter when I get by somebody.
You're not wrong, but you can only tag it once, so it really wouldn't help you that
Right.
much, right? Yeah. Okay.
So,
I'll use a maneuver next round and make it so that Volt or somebody can just really, really haul off and smack him into next week. That other twos, you guys, okay? Give me. Okay, you're gonna do what now? You're still building up power.
Yeah.
All right.
So we've knocked out the candles. We've moved the dust. We've taken blood across the circle to break the circle thing.
Right.
So is he still having to put concentration to this, or is he kind of finished it? So it's all doing it by
It's
itself.
all doing it by itself, right?
Is there
Anything else we can do?
in the center
It worked for
part
you.
where the girl was? Is there anything there that needs to
Blood.
be moved or dispersed?
You could disperse the blood. I mean, you could.
Stockades.
Anybody use water spells?
No, that's what I was looking. I don't have water spells. The closest I have is
Do you have flames? No.
I have ice.
Ice.
Oh wait, hang on.
You could freeze the ice and pick it up and throw it out of the circle.
I have water. I always forget that I have water because I
Okay.
don't really have a spell per se.
Probably
set
a
up
good
for
thing
that.
to do would be to, make the center of the circle muddy and cause the blood to be washed away.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to do that?
Yeah.
Again, another single stress hit, okay?
All right. That's,
Which probably takes your stress 2 bubble or stress 3 bubble or something like that.
yeah, my
Okay.
1, 2, and 3 bubbles have already been
Ooh,
taken.
okay.
So, I only have a
So that brings you up to +8. What are you going to do?
Can I tag something with that? Can I tag No Mercy? Or no, that doesn't really make sense with water. Never mind.
Do I see anything else that I can do to this?
Let's see. You could probably try and fill in the trenches there. I mean, the idea is to try and erase the spell. You could try and fill in the trenches or something like that. If you spend a fate point, you could have something like spray paint, and you could change the actual shape or sigil that's there, maybe overwrite it or something like that, or even chalk for all that matters. All right. Okay, we're up to 10.
I don't think the chalk would work if I'm making everything wet.
Well, no, yeah, he could use spray paint or something, chalk. Yeah. So what you're doing is basically overlaying the sigils with some kind of counterspell sigil. Carla is going to let me think. So this is necromancy. It's evil. Pure concentrated evil. She could do. I know what she's going to do. She starts adding basically symbolic things like of light around there. She takes a glow stick out of her pocket and puts it at one edge and kind of pours it around there because it's bright and light. She has a little pen light that's in her pocket. She takes that out and sticks it in there. Summons a light spell and causes your sigils to glow. She's going to take 1 stress again. But again, she lights things up to kind of represent what you can do. All right, so you guys are at +12. All right, so you've got a 7 together with your lore and things like that. Did I ask you what your lore was?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got a 7 with your lore, so that's 19. Okay, probably one more round is gonna do it. Okay, that brings us to +1. Yeah.
It's me.
That's you. You are now right here.
Hey.
Yes. The ghouls begin shooting at the specters that are coming up to try and kind of come up behind you. Right.
All right. So from this point, what exactly am I looking at?
You can see you can see the group over here, the spellcasters, Carla and Bunk and Della and Swift, who has got like a shield of what looks like wood and vegetation to try and keep them from getting shot at. Over here, you see what's the left of the cultists are being shot at by Anastasia's crew, and then periodically Malk's appearing out of the darkness and dragging them off into the darkness to do terrible things to them. You see that there's a white court vampire that they all seem to be swirled around kind of attacking, and they seem to be trying to do something to counterspell the spell. Yeah.
Okay.
You could help them counterspell. You have that ability.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because Darwin is a thaumaturge.
Right.
Louis Laveau is a
Evoker.
evoker.
Right.
Um,
What's your lore at?
Louis Laveau's lore is 7.
You may use his lore. So he also gets a +1 because it's necromancy, because that's kind of his shtick.
Which is what I was thinking. If Louis Laveau understands what they're doing, which I feel like he probably does.
Right. If he comes in and takes the lead on the spell, that'll give you the 24 you need.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes. Okay. So
Because I was doing the math. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
right.
I was like, if I get there next turn, it's 12 plus 3, 7, plus 1. It's like,
yeah. So Darwin comes across, sees where you're working on stuff, and he goes, "No, no, no," in a weird kind of no. Yeah, you're going about this all wrong. And he starts drawing little.
What a weird time to have an affectation.
Yeah, right. He begins drawing little sigils in the between the circles and stuff like that, that have something to do with necromancy and counter spells and things like that. And now you're going to need to put 24 points of power into it. Okay. So to do that, you can make discipline checks, all right? And however much you roll on your discipline roll, that's how much power you put into it, okay? It might not be, you can all roll, okay? So you because there's 4 of you. So it might not be a bad idea to try and put as much power into it as possible to shut this down as quickly as possible.
Anyone
Right.
who hasn't already
Do you want to make a
used
discipline check?
absolutely.
Okay,
that.
make your roll.
Prayer.
Yeah.
True.
Did you use that +1 yet?
Big roll, big roll. Ooh.
Not bad.
Your dice are traitors, Jody.
I know.
It's a 7, right?
All right, that is a 7.
Very nice.
However, and this is completely up to you, but I feel like it's apt. I want to spend a fate point to increase it by 2.
Okay.
Using the aspect questionable acquaintances, since my love interest has possessed me with his brother.
I totally fine. Yeah. So 9 points of power out of 24 from that. Okay. Bunk, you want to make a roll to feed the power into the system?
Feed the machine.
Yeah,
That's even.
5.
Okay. So your discipline was a 5. Do you want to tag any aspects or anything like that?
Let's see. I got vampires suck.
This is being done by a vampire. I'll let you do it. That's
like it.
that just about the most appropriate one, to be honest with you. All right, so that was 7. That brings you up to 16. You're only 8 short. I'm gonna roll for Carla.
Would either of you use the +1 or?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know. I didn't use that at all.
You gonna use +1?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
+1.
So both of you are. So now we're down to 14. Carla's gonna roll. Her discipline is a 4. So here we go. She got 5 points. So we're up to 19. All right.
Seal the day.
Della, you need to get a 5 at least. What's your discipline?
My discipline is a 5.
Okay, so don't get any negatives on the dice, and you should be okay.
And well, I
No, don't even say that. You can get negatives so long as you even out. It's
Yeah.
fine.
So don't
I'm
spend that
gonna
yet.
save that.
Yeah, don't spend it yet. Roll your dice first, and then do it. Yeah.
I blame everyone who said.
Now wait. You spend your fate point, and you'll get the points you need. So what are you tagging?
I'm tagging No Mercy because I
I
want to
like
take
that,
this
sure.
side.
All right.
Down. That was very.
That was kind of
Never
wimpy.
mind.
All right, so what happens is you notice that she starts to complete the ritual for you. She's not real sure about what you're doing, and she starts to scuff over one of the sigils you put there that's going to throw everything out of kilter. And as she starts to scuff over it, she goes, wait, no. That's not what Sydney said. It goes like this. And she completes the symbol correctly, right? And you feel this kind of this vibration start in the ground, all right? And now you no longer hear the heartbeat, okay? The boom, 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 boom. Instead of you hear kind of a boom,
Which
like
one's
that.
more scary?
And what you notice is the spirits, their hearts start to shake like that, and several of their chests explode.
Yeah,
so
like
all
that.
just like that. And so the spirits start collapsing all around you. The cultists are still there, and you are still fighting the guy right there. He lets out a shriek of frustration. No! You've ruined everything! Okay. And that brings us to top of the round again, which is Swift. I think Swift is going to turn and shoot an arrow at this bozo. Yeah, just, you know.
The first thing that
Just
pops
kind
up.
of tired of this guy.
Also a really good movie, just saying.
Yes.
All right, so let's see if we can find Swift's stats, because I know I have them somewhere. There they are. His...
Pretty sure it's a +10 on everything.
Actually, so. Alright, just 6. Now the guy gets his defense versus athletics.
The spirits, man.
Spirits.
Alright.
Floating everywhere.
Wow. So the guy got a 4 for once. Swift beats him by 2. He's going to tap the bow to do an 8-point strike.
Good.
Let's see. The guy's going to take his -6 thingy and then take a 2 stress hit. Okay. So he's still up. But he now has an arrow sticking out of his chest. And Swift yells something about, "Oh, be quiet already! You've lost!" Okay. That brings us to his move, where he's going to, I think, turn towards you. No, he's going to turn towards Anastasia and try and kill her with his sword.
He's never been cranky.
Oh, okay. Well, he did not hit Anastasia, probably. Because that's
Don't you like that when it's like, he's going to attack her, it's he's going to try to kill her.
Right, he is. Well, if he kills her, he can heal all damage. That's the way court vampires work. So he really would love to, if you get to one of those cultists, he'd do that in a heartbeat. So, but he can't get there yet. He takes a swing at Anastasia. Anastasia very quickly rolls out of the way, and he misses her completely. She chuckles and says, "You've lost! Give it up! You'll never have New Orleans again. It's our city now." Yeah. She has probably a Russian cavalry saber that she's drawn out.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. What else do they use in Russia?
I object
Vodka.
to the use of our.
Vodka?
They use vodka.
A vodka
That's-
a vodka bottle from the 1800s. Because remember, she is the Anastasia for the Tsars.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that brings us to, let's see, the Malks. The Malks drag another cultist into the shadows. Let's see. That brings us to +3s, which is...
Anastasia's a 4.
yes, she's going to attack. So she attacks the guy with her...
I mean, I'm sure she's a bit more attractive than a 4.
Out of 5.
Yes.
Oh, out of 5.
And he dodges. So he swings at her, she parries and goes in after him, and he quickly parries her out of the way. So they've got a big, nice sword duel going around there. That brings us to 3s, which I believe is also... Yeah, go ahead, and then we'll get...
Jean-Marie can go first.
Yeah, Jean-Marie.
Ladies first.
She's going to stab at him.
Big old sword fight going on. Volt over there like, shame.
Bring a knife to a fist fight, yeah. All right, and he dodges away from Jean-Marie. He's very quick, and that brings us to Volt.
All right. That's gonna be 8.
Having a hard time right now.
He got a 6, so you beat him by 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I get a weapon 2, then +4 damage.
Okay, so that's 6 points of damage. He's going to take a -4 consequence. I believe that is the moderate consequence. Yes. And then he takes a 2 stress hit. He is looking pretty hurt. You tag him as he's dodging and parrying with Anastasia. He kind of turns and you pop him and hit him, and you hear ribs crack, and he spins towards you. Yeah. All right. So that's 3 2s. Yes. Come on, Spirit Girl.
Right. Let's.
She screams.
Ah! Yes. Don't you grow me.
Come from the holy land, you know, with the spirit of destiny to your throat.
I thought you were going to say in tow.
Wow, yes.
Wow.
I thought he was going to
That's
say
more
in
like
tow.
Weapon of the gods. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What is this +1 I get? Okay, it's a 7.
The +1 was from the Sword of the Cross.
Yeah,
Sword of the
you
Cross.
don't
Okay, so we don't need that anymore.
So what'd you get?
7.
Okay, that's he rolled a. Let's see. He rolled a 8. This is time to use a fate point.
Okay.
Vampire suck. Oh, that's yours. Sorry. Never mind.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, never
That
mind.
was a great one.
That was great.
Been waiting all season to use it.
Yeah, right.
You can still tag I owe you one. You just can't tag it twice in one round.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So you can definitely do that. All right, so you beat him by 1. What damage does the spear do?
+3.
Okay, so that does 4. I don't think he can soak that. And he's out. All right, so he spins towards Volt, ready to try and dodge for his next attack. And out of the corner of his eye, he sees you as you come in with the spear. You stab him right through the throat. He starts gurgling. This kind of pinkish white blood begins running down and spilling out of his mouth, and he collapses to the ground.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's a kind of an eerie quiet and a hush that falls over the cemetery. The cultists, several of them have tried to get up and run away. The monks have drugged them into the darkness. You don't see them anymore. And there's kind of an eerie silence that falls. The mist, the green mist, begins to dissipate. You don't hear any screams coming from the city. You do hear what sounds like emergency services. You know,
We hear the thrumming.
Yeah, it stopped. Yeah, it's quit.
What I really want to know is when Bunk looks down at his feet,
Yes.
if there's like some small dead bird or something that the monks have brought him in tribute.
Oh,
God.
I doubt that.
I've just been waiting. I've been secretly
What are the
watching
heads
for
from
this
the
the whole
cultists?
time.
Well, actually, you
yeah,
do notice
like the foot of the cultist.
notice that lying outside the circle, there's a pile of 12 hands, just left there, and yeah,
I just was
Tribute.
wondering.
Yep.
12 hands.
Yeah.
Just what I need.
Well, they didn't give you all the hands.
Yeah,
Right, because they got
Yeah, they left you maybe 1 from each guy.
Yeah.
They might probably gave you 11 from each guy and then 2 from one guy or something like that, just
Yeah,
because that's the way cats are. Yeah, we're not going to actually give you 1 from each person. We're going to give you 1 from 10 people and then 2 from the 11th guy,
Yeah.
none from the 12th.
And then,
Because
like 2 nights later, I get another
yeah,
one
right. Then you get the other 12 hands,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
We just show up and
Exactly.
All these lefts and only 1 right.
That's right. Correct. Boom, boom. Shh. So yeah, it's eerily quiet.
Now, I wanted to ask, since it kind of seems like we're falling out of the combat.
Yes,
right
we
here.
are. We are.
Did I take mental stress from leading the breaking of the ritual, whatever that was going on?
No. One of the nice things about rituals is as long as you don't screw up your roll,
Okay.
you don't take mental stress. It's only if you screw up your roll, then the difference you take is stress.
Right.
So yeah, and in fact, you take all of the power that you put into it as mental stress. So if you had messed up that last roll, you would have taken 22 stress
I
worth of
would've died.
damage. Yeah, pretty much. That's why when people do big rituals, they kill people to fuel them because they can handle a bunch of damage because they're dead, or they die. Yeah, they could take like 8 points worth of severe damage and 6. And so yeah, you could do. Well, no, you wouldn't have died, but you probably would have taken a really severe wound and then probably some
Well,
pretty.
I had already
so
taken.
you're digging some.
Yeah, you would have taken some serious stuff. Yeah. All right, so it's eerily quiet. You think the monks are gone? Anastasia's people, several of them have taken kind of superficial wounds from bullet wounds, and so the ghouls have been shot, but they seem fine. Jean-Marie heads over to them and checks them out. The big guy has taken actually 2 really nice shots to the chest, and he kind of flexes his pecs, and the bullets just kind of pop out, and yeah, he catches them and says, "Now, where's that kitty cat?"
That's what I was waiting on this whole time.
Yeah.
And the kitty cat doesn't
It's
show up?
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like he's gone. And he goes,
I think they should just be like,
Talk.
here, some more snarf, without
So,
revealing themselves.
he catches the bullets, puts them in his pocket. Jean-Marie walks over and kisses you on the cheek, Volt, and then heads over to the ghouls and she says, "Well, I guess we'll head back to our car." At which point Anastasia kind of looks at you, looks at her, and goes,
Layup.
so yeah, they head out of the
I
cemetery.
can only imagine that as she's like walking back to ghouls that she's just sashaying so hard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's wearing a skin tight black, bodysuit for working at night work. You do notice, however, that her tattoos are very, very bright. Okay, they're bright red and things like that. You give me a religion or lore check. In fact, I tell you what, there isn't really a religion skill, isn't there? I guess we
have
just lore there.
scholarship.
Would I be familiar with that?
I have scholarship, lore.
What's your scholarship at?
It's +1, but I rolled I rolled a 2, so that's a +3 total.
You recognize those tattoos as being from a group that you've heard about that work for the church called the Fellowship of St. Giles.
Oh, that.
And what they are is they're people who have been turned into Red Court vampires, but they're not fully Red Court vampires until they make their first kill. And so these tattoos help them control their urges to kill people. And as the tattoos get more bright, you know that they're getting closer and closer to losing control. And so what they can do is they can drink blood from other places, blood banks and stuff like that. So she's probably going to a blood bank to get
She's
refilled.
removing herself from temptation right
exactly.
now. Hey, don't fall.
Alexandra
for that,
and her
sis.
people
Been there, done that.
head out through the wall. Alexandra
Still
kind of
there.
gives you this look.
Getting dragged by that wagon.
That's right. They head out through the wall, moving quickly across the rooftops. I mean, they literally, if you've ever seen, any cartoon or anime movie where they, take one leap, go to the rooftops and go,
Just flee.
that's what they start doing. And they're all dressed in black, so they're kind of hard to follow too.
I'm gonna go up to the Scavus and knife stab his heart.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Double tap.
I've watched too many Buffy movies.
Oh, all right,
man.
gotcha. Okay, yeah. Just stab him through the heart. Yeah, he seems pretty dead. I mean, his head's almost off of his neck. The spear did that. Interestingly enough, as soon as you stab him through the throat with it, the spear has kind of been vibrating this whole time with, the desire to kill things. It calms down. Strangely enough.
The sacrifice. She dead or is she?
Yeah, she's pretty significantly dead. And give me an alertness check.
We still got
Yeah, I was gonna say where's the key
Flame
component
on to
missing?
take care of.
Damn it!
What is
think
it
it knows
based
over
on?
here.
Mine's just a
Alertness.
I got 2.
I got a 3.
I rolled real well.
2.
3.
0.
Alertness?
Oh, is this something that Louis Laveau cares about? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you still would want to know.
All right. Then that is a 2.
Okay. You notice that this girl resembles this Scavus guy. Maybe like they're related. So, yeah. Which is even a bit...
living Scavus guy or the dead Scavus
The
guy
dead
that we
Scavus
killed?
guy.
Oh.
The guy that you just killed.
Oh.
And which
Ah,
girl is this?
that's gross.
The sister? The one that was killed?
Shanked his own
Whoever he
sister.
shanked was
Whatever.
related
His
to
own
him. So,
blood.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
Family.
jerk.
yeah.
His ambitions.
POS.
Yeah, no kidding. Where are you guys headed now?
We got a black and Daenerys in the track.
Well, oddly enough, you have not seen Laciel the entire time. You're not
She
sure.
was here.
Is
Track her down.
You gotta have something to track
I
her
don't
with.
think I have anything of Lashiel.
Yeah.
could
We
we
got a
use
Daenerys?
one of the other Daenarians?
No.
Can we use a coin?
Oh, no.
Well, the
Well,
interest-
wait. Do we know who Lashiel is IRL?
Pretty,
we find that out?
She's,
No, because she
Did we
flamed
already
down.
yeah.
She flamed down.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, we
what's
already
her
knew.
face?
We found out.
Bella,
Bella,
yeah.
Bella Sinclair?
Yeah, Bella Sinclair, yeah.
I can't think of
That's right.
last
I
name.
could have sworn that she did her whole thing right in front of us. She came
Yeah,
out.
Yeah, she did.
was
She
like-
did.
She
She
did.
did.
She did the
Yeah.
whole thing, yeah.
So, yeah, that
So we hadn't seen
can
her.
give us a clue as to how we could track her.
Alright,
perhaps.
we go to her house, get some hair. She uses a brush.
Well, it was armed by snipers last time we were there. So.
And a bunch of Devanese,
And
wizards.
we're a little hurt too.
We
Yeah,
can
you are.
do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, heading back to the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys start heading to the church, and you notice that Anne-Marie and Darwin start kind of lagging behind you guys.
Have you noticed
Hey,
anything
keep up.
weird about Darwin? Like, have we caught on at all?
No, not really. And you guys head out the gate, and Anne-Marie leans in, kind of grabs Darwin and pulls him to the side, and she leans in and plants a kiss on his cheek. Very
Do we see
sisterly. No, you don't. Very sisterly kiss. And she says,
This is about to get
I'm
real
sorry, Louis. It's time for you to go back. And she kind of covers your eyes, and you feel like cobwebs fall off of you, or maybe like you were covered with some kind of net, and it's like the net just kind of falls off of you, and you're back. You've got control of your fingers and your hands and your toes, and she takes
I
about
felt tired.
3 steps back because she's not sure you're not going to be really angry with her.
Kablam.
Yeah, well, you could alaka-blam her, that would for sure. And she takes a couple steps, about 2-3 steps back, and she says, I'm really sorry, Darwin, but it was the only way I thought we could do this. And she heads out the gate away from you. You guys see Anne-Marie, and she heads out the gate without Darwin, and then takes a hard right and heads off down the sidewalk away from you guys.
Long as
Oh, thanks for
what
your
Darwin
help.
say to her?
Yeah.
Dang, he really messed that up.
What you gonna do?
I want to go home.
Yeah. I'm really tired. You want to catch up with them?
Yeah.
Okay, you catch up with them.
Okay, that's
Heading
too
back to the
social
church.
for him.
Yeah.
You see a lot of police cars out. You see a lot of ambulances out, some fire trucks and some things like that. Most of them are, the EMTs are giving help to people that are injured. You do see a few bodies on the street too, some people who didn't get away. But things are kind of quiet. You head back to the St. Louis Cathedral, head to the front door, because the back door is always locked to that little courtyard place. To the front door, you knock on the door swings open, and this blonde-headed, skinny, lanky kid comes running out and grabs Carla and says, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? There's like madmen and terrorists and ruffians. It's all over the news." And Deacon Fontainebleau kind of looks at you guys and goes, like that.
Yeah, like.
And so, sure enough, there's a TV. They've turned on a TV in the little gift shop, and it's talking about how there was a terrorist attack on New Orleans, as if the city hadn't suffered enough under Katrina and trying to rebuild. Now terrorists have decided to try and take over at this point. They probably decided to strike now because they figured the city was weak. Hundreds have been injured. Many are dead. Emergency services are out assisting people and things like that. Deacon Fontainebleau has just finished brewing a fresh pot of coffee. And he's also, oddly enough, got a tray full of beignets. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Look, I know it's not much, but I know a guy who works at Café du Monde, and he brought some over." And so it's funny because you turn around and look, there's a little guy with a little Café du Monde hat and a white dude, like that. And so he says, "Help yourselves." So beignets, coffee if you want them.
Nice.
Carla and Carl say, "Well, look, we're going to head home. Lessons still on Tuesday?"
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Carla, you were amazing.
"Thanks, boss. I owe it all to you." And so she kind of skips off down the road, and Carl goes, "What did you do out there? I was afraid you were going to get eaten." And she just kind of goes, "Carl, you wouldn't believe it anyway." And so they head off down the road to wherever they live. The van is still there. Doesn't look any worse for the wear rather than when you got it.
Any
Everybody
more
hopping in the
worse
van
for
and heading to their various and sundry
Yes.
domiciles.
I think that sounds good.
Was Gabriel Beaumont still at the church?
Gabriel Beaumont is still there. He still looks pretty much worse for the wear, and he looks at you and he says, "It's done."
It's done?
He said, "Touch the spear." And you touch the spear, and it's always kind of vibrated like it was alive. And feels like a piece of wood and a piece of metal. It seems kind of done. He says, Lashiel's left. So is Nicodemus. The Denarians are gone. That's why the spear's gone back to sleep.
Well, I give it back to him.
He says, "I've long since stopped using weapons. Keep it. They might come back. Who knows? And it sometimes does other things and can help you with other problems. It's the spear of destiny. It knows when it's needed. weapon designed by our Lord to lead armies with. So you keep it. He says, I'm going to go back and lay down. And about that time, you see an ambulance pull up and rush inside to, kind of check on him. Everybody piles into the van, heads back home.
Sorry, after that description, I can only imagine that, like, when it is needed, the thing just, like, vibrates, like,
All right. So, go around the table. What does your character do for the next 3, 6 months, year? Tell me what your character would do.
I think my character would get in touch with my sister to find out what in the world she's been doing. If she's part of, helping with the church and all these situations.
Yeah. She tells you that when she moved in to become the kind of the leader of the underworld of New Orleans, the underworld was led by the Red Court. She made an alliance with the ghouls so they could run out the Red Court. And they did, for the most part. There's still a few Red Court vampires around, but that's it. But one of the Red Court got her embittered, and so the church helped her get in touch with the Fellowship of St. Giles through the Vatican, and they gave her the tattoos. And so she leads the underworld, but tries to make sure that the evil supernatural creatures don't take over the city. Okay. This is a human city. This is our city, and they need to steer clear of it, even though she's technically a supernatural creature herself. So yeah, you're kind of a halfway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I guess I'll spend some time just writing down in my notebooks, just notes on what we'd seen and what we'd done and how we'd done it and who was involved, but using code names for my actual people who were with me, just in case the white council decides to poke their nose in.
Well, you do have to give a report to Elias Dupree. Okay. Yeah. He wants to know exactly what happened with the whole ritual thing and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, Bella St. Clair does not reappear at the Devaney Mansion. In fact, nobody sees her again in New Orleans, interestingly enough.
Interesting.
What do you want to do with your share of the gold? What is
I was going to say, I'm also going to go by the bank to make sure it's still there.
It is.
Okay.
You've still got quite a bit of money.
Yeah,
and remember, 3 to 6 months goes by, so even more money accrues.
Right. So I've been in my notes, I've been periodically taking different amounts of money out in the thousands, like 3,000. Nothing to set off the government or anything like that.
Well, this is before they really started monitoring that. Really
that's
tight.
true.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I'm just like taking different amounts and dropping off at different places, like donating money to organizations that need them, that can help in the city, stuff like that.
About 3 or 4 months goes by, things kind of die down to a dull roar. For once, you're not constantly putting out fires in the city. And you run into a few small things, little restless ghosts that you're able to put down pretty quickly. A group of ghouls get a little jiggy, and you have to kind of calm them down with your group. About 6 months have gone by, and you're lying in bed one night, and you feel like someone's looking at you. Okay, you kind of roll over, and you see standing in the doorway to your room, looks like somebody with glowing white eyes. You turn on the light?
Yeah.
It's Terrence. And he looks at you, and he doesn't say anything, but he just kind of does this. And then you watch him just kind of fade out of existence.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, you stir up restless spirits.
Yeah.
All right, Bo.
Yeah, so I try to figure out where the Autumn Court is in all this stuff and kind of stick with.
Yeah.
You return to Audubon Park probably the next day. Lou is there meeting you, and he says, well, I did have to request a favor from the Winter Court, but I told them we won't be joining them. Maeve wasn't terribly happy about that, so watch your back. But yeah, we're still a free people, or the Wild Fae as they're called. He then, over the next few months, takes you into the, I guess, Autumn Court, which actually exists underneath Autumn Park in the Fey realms and things like that. You are trained to use your spear. You are trained to use your magic and how to handle your glamours better. After 2 or 3 months, you emerge much faster, much more able to protect yourself. There's a lot of combat training that goes on with several of the elf knights and things like that. And when you emerge, you feel like probably if Maeve decided to make a move against the Wild Fae and the Autumn Court, bring it on.
Cool.
Yeah. I can just imagine Elf Knight shows up. Bunk, it is time to train. In bed. Oh, God.
I was up till midnight last night.
This was brownstone.
Well, hey, was it Autumn King? I am really tired. Gotcha, buddy. Okay, I'm good. Let's go. I'm going to owe him a bunch of favors. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, Darwin.
All right, so we go home.
Mm-hmm.
We don't leave for about a month.
Rest.
I mean,
actually, that's pretty. You can do that. Nothing really draws your attention out for about a month. Yeah.
It's just I have a lot to think about. A lot of stuff went on very fast.
Mm-hmm.
I continue to just kind of tinker around and whatnot. I'd say after about a month and a half, maybe 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And what I can only imagine is a slew of either text messages or just surprise arrivals from Miranda.
Stack of food outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. A lot of food left outside your door because you're not answering.
Then I would try to go and meet up with Marie Laveau.
Okay. Anne Marie. All right. So you give her a call. She accepts your call, and you get the feeling she's at work. And actually, you probably called the Voodoo Emporium, and a voice answers you don't recognize. And she says, "Hello, Anne Marie. Marie Laveau's Voodoo Emporium."
Ask for Anne Marie.
Oh, my grandmother. I'll get her right now. Which you remember, that was one thing that Anne Marie was very concerned about. The phone passed around, and she goes, "Anne Marie Laveau," in her, whiskey kind of sultry voice.
I'll just say, "Anne Marie, this is Darwin."
She gets real quiet.
I just like to ask, is there a chance that we can talk?
Absolutely. Come by the shop tonight.
Okay.
When I close up.
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay. Day kind of drags on. Around 7 o'clock is when she closes. You know that. And so you head towards the shop on your moped?
Yep.
You got lots of money. You sure you want a car?
It's just so easy to get around with.
Gotcha. You roll up on your moped. Yeah. She's just locking up the door. Stepped out. She's dressed in what you typically see her with, the head wrap, and she's wearing what looks like a red dress. Yeah.
In that case, I'll ask her if she would like to go somewhere to get something to drink.
She says, "Sure, I would love to." She looks a little wary, obviously. Yeah.
I don't even know what would be around there.
Probably one of the closer ones that you're familiar with is Jean Lafitte's. Yeah, it's probably 2 or 3. It's close by. There's a lot of bars, but that's one you've been to. You're familiar with it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll go there, order some drinks, and while we're just there, I just want to talk about what happened.
I'm really sorry about that. Again, my main concern was with my granddaughter.
No, I understand. And to be quite frank,
I thought you were Darwin. Sorry.
Without the assistance of your brother, I'm not sure we would have succeeded.
Well, that was my thought. He's quite a powerful practitioner.
I am well aware and acquainted now. I say, with that though, you understand my trepidation with such a thing.
Of course.
And not that I say it wasn't needed. But it truly makes me regret that we couldn't have an actual discussion about that before the act was committed.
Duly noted. I should have talked to you first.
With that, I would like to continue the friendship that we have and stay on good terms.
And she says, I would like that too. I can see that things might arise in our city where we might need to work together on things.
Absolutely.
And I promise not to stick my dead brother's spirit into you again, unless I check with you first and see if it's okay.
Yeah. That's what we're getting
And she
at.
kind of chuckles a little bit about that. She says, well, another round of drinks. And so she orders another round.
Okay.
All right, cool. Coming over to Miranda.
Couple things.
Okay.
So, I think Miranda is not able to go, and then stop. So I think she manically tries to feel her time for that first couple of weeks and months afterwards. Pestering Darwin because he's not picking up, and checking in with everybody else too, trying to keep the band together, even though we sort of started doing our own thing. With the money, I think she's going to attempt to do two things. One of them more doable than the others. First, she wants to invest in her own venture that's going to serve the homeless community.
You can definitely do that.
Being that she's had herself so much trouble with public transport, she decides to create a transport company that specifically caters to the homeless.
Right.
And she orders a fleet of vans, and I think it's just called Miranda's Vans.
I like
And
it. Miranda's van. Sorry.
yeah, and
Happy
so
to do
there's
that.
just these like black vans with airbrushed paintings on the side running around the city that deliver homeless people to and from
homeless shelters, foods, churches,
job interviews,
Gotcha.
churches, all kinds of transportation, taking care of the
And
homeless
you've got
cities.
one white van
Yeah.
that's been repaired.
The
Right?
original.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The other thing that I think she's going to try to look into doing, which might be harder, but it's more of like a project than something she expects to achieve, is I think she wants to try to track down who owns Lafitte's Island and try to buy it.
Well, the Lafitte family does, and they won't sell.
They won't sell, so then next I think I would pitch to them a partnership where I help them refurbish their once
Restore,
happy
yeah.
home.
Well, remember, they've got quite a bit of money, too. If you remember, they got a 10% or 15% cut of the money.
Right.
So,
Arguably, they should have had more.
yeah. They're down with that, for sure.
So we just start a restoration project, maybe to put the treasure back into...
And if you've got homeless people with skills, there's your jobs. There you go.
Right.
Yeah. Are you going to buy your own place or keep living above the pawn shop?
I think I probably will eventually, be the most annoying person and buy a house in Darwin's neighborhood.
Oh, right next door.
Yeah,
Maybe across the street. Across the street.
Yeah.
like neighbor. You know.
You can probably do that.
Raymond,
You can probably.
you just,
It may not be right across the street or right next door, but it's definitely only a few.
You know
houses.
what? I'll
Somewhere-
tell you
somewhere
that
in the
that works out
neighborhood.
better because for some reason I just imagine that somehow she'd move in with me, and I was just like,
Rubies.
Rubies! Oh my god!
I'm sorry, was
buying
this
houses
your...
closer to you.
You could buy houses around yourself to kind of
Yeah.
insulate yourself if
Oh
you want.
my
You
God.
got enough money.
Insulation is
I'm not this housing kind of like.
It's like a game of Go where you
Yeah.
buy a house and she buys one and you're trying to surround. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway,
Yeah. And then I think eventually, when she realizes that she can't just go to like avoid all of her problems or slowing down or life getting, somewhat back to normal, she'll probably call Reggie and start talking to him about getting back into rehab and
gotcha. Cool. Very good. All right, Volt. Well, you are able to purchase the warehouse you've been looking at, the second warehouse.
Yeah. So I do that.
And Anne-Marie is Jean-Marie is very interested in bringing you into the organization, too.
Well, instead of that, I think I'm going to take a neutral ground.
Oh, okay. You can do that.
And so I buy this warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
and I shape it up to look kind of like a castle, or whatever on
You
the
can do that.
outside.
Sure.
And I call it the Knight's Retreat.
Okay.
The first bar in New Orleans that is a supernatural things go bump in the night hangout for whatever deals or business you want to take.
You
I
can
automatically assume I just go there to drink free because of the night.
Oh, of course, yeah. A friend of mine always drinks free.
You could get it accorded neutral grounds from the Unseelie Accords, where basically it would be against the Seelie Accords to do any kind of attacking. You can go there and talk to people. You can have discussions with them. But any kind of attacks or anything like that would be against. Would bring all the Unseelie nations down on their heads. So you can get it probably accorded. That might take a few greasing palms, but not something you couldn't. You got some.
I've got
some grease.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And you do know some powerful people in the city too.
I do now.
All right. All right. So you turn it into a bar. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
call it the Knight's Retreat. Something a little more fancier than a bar, more like a club hangout.
Yeah, where all the paranetters could hang out there and be safe and stuff.
And it's, of course, being in castle fashion, it's multi-level.
Of course. All right.
Yeah, lots of entertainment, lots of show.
Good deal. All right, cool. Folks, that's it. We're done, man.
Well, I've been living in sin for about a month. Something turned me around, it's something that I just can't understand the way I behave. Some people you can never save in my life.